Hi Cancer, welcome back to my channel Tarot Z. I'm Z and I'm going to be doing your tarot reading, finding out what the messages are with the cards that come out in this reading for you today. So let's begin and find out what cards come out. Thank you so much for joining and for being here for the reading. So the first card we have is the World. We have the Hierophant. And we have the King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. We have the Tower card in the reverse. So this Tower card showing up in the reverse, we do have some Scorpio energy. We also have some Taurus energy. So you could be dealing with any of those signs as well. But with this Tower card showing up in the reverse, this does feel like an energy of trying to rebuild something that has fallen apart, something that has really shown the cracks and even the faultiness in its foundation. I do feel like with this Tower card showing up in the reverse, there's a desire to rebuild. I do feel like there's some kind of a desire to be able to revisit a situation, and I also feel like there's some remorse and regret around a situation that may have fell apart. I do feel like with this Tower card that there is an intention of being able to have a second chance and do better a second time around. With the World card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of completion. I also feel like this is getting to a point where I do feel like there is a sense of being fulfilled with the way things have gone and where things are, and being satisfied to move forward without that heavy heart and being open to what comes next. I do feel like this does feel like an energy of leveling up. So with this World card showing up over here, when it comes to the person you're dealing with, I do feel like there is a sense of appreciation for you when it comes to the way this person feels about you. There's also this feeling of experiencing a level up. It's like you're the ultimate upgrade. I do feel like with the World card showing up over here, there is an energy of even just being ready to take that next step, being ready to embrace what comes next within this connection. I do feel like that could be a higher form of commitment, and I do feel like this is also something that this person is in a space where they're ready to be able to actually take a leap of faith into a journey that is going to lead to something that is of higher nature, something that feels like a leveling up when it comes to your situation. So I do feel like this person is in a good place to embrace your connection. They aren't in a space where anything's weighing them down as far as any kind of past baggage. And with the Hierophant card showing up over here, this is a committed energy. I do feel like with the Hierophant card showing up over here, this does feel like you could be viewing this connection as one that's very ideal. It is one that you want to be committed in, that you are committed to. And I do feel like with this Hierophant, this is a pretty traditional energy when it comes to that. I do feel like this is a form of really being able to enter into a connection that's leading to commitment, or that's in that committed phase. And I do feel like things go really deep. I do feel like that is a reciprocated energy with the World card as well. I do feel like with this World card showing up over here, this person's open to getting to that level with you, and they are in a space where they're coming around. Do you feel like with the King of Pentacles, you could be dealing with somebody who is older, but I also get an energy that is of a person who's quite mature. This person could be older, but this person could just have a very mature outlook. And I also feel like this person is someone who's quite established even in their work. So when it comes to the action that they take towards you, they have means. I also feel that this person is in a space where I do feel like they take a very considerate approach in your connection. I do feel like practically this person is someone who has the ability to actually show up for your connection in a way that allows for this very supportive energy. And I also feel that they do deem having stability and security in your connection as something very important. They recognize that. But I do also feel like this person is somebody who actually is going to restore a sense of stability to this connection, especially with this Tower card showing up in the reverse. So I do feel like there's actions being taken to having something that is built on a solid, stable, and even secure foundation in this connection. So I do feel like you are dealing with somebody who's quite mature as well, but I also feel that they actually really do value your connection. So I'm gonna clarify these cards. We have the Lovers, We do have Gemini energy with this. We have the Ace of Wands. And we have the Nine of Wands in the reverse. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So this Ace of Pentacles, this does feel like an opportunity. I do feel like there's an opportunity presented for having a connection that is more stable. I do feel like there is an importance placed upon having stability and security. I also feel that with this Tower card showing up in the reverse, that's something that's quite important. I also feel that this could be an experience of being able to actually have a second chance of building something with more with being able to have that information about having a solid foundation at the forefront. Do you feel like with this Ace of Pentacles showing up here, this also feels like an energy of being able to build something from scratch and being able to actually build it from a strong foundation. I do feel like there's stability. I also feel like with this Ace of Pentacles, this is about also being in a good position, especially when it comes to being well off as far as resources, even money, and even just the more practical side of things. So I do feel like it's a pretty positive energy in that way. I do feel like with this Lovers card showing up underneath the World card, this is a very deep energy. I do feel like it's a very passionate energy too. With the World card, this does feel like a completion. So I do feel like this is moving things to the next level. I also feel like an energy of taking a leap of faith into being able to be open to take things to a next level, taking commitment to a higher level. There's this strong feeling of passionate feeling in this connection between how you make this person feel. I do feel like there's a recognition of a connection here. They feel a strong spark, a strong connection, and I do get that there's a feeling of being compatible that they're recognizing. With the Ace of Wands showing up over here, this does feel like a strong spark. I do feel like initial strong spark. And I do feel like with this Ace of Wands showing up over here, this is also a very creative energy. I do feel like it's also pretty romantic in that sense. There is a lot of passion here, even with the Lovers card and the Ace of Wands. Do you feel like initially it's hard to miss? There's a strong spark. And with this Ace of Wands, this is also being open to really building and creating something in this connection. And I do feel like with the Hierophant card, there's a commitment to anything that is being started here. With the Nine of Wands showing up in the reverse, this does feel like an energy of having had overcome a difficult past that's really kind of strengthened a person. So I do feel like when it comes to the actions being taken here, this does feel like an energy of being in a space where somebody is able to really take into account how something's going to affect them. But I do feel like with this card in the reverse, it really softens that energy to the point that it isn't as defensive. There is a more open energy. I also feel that with this Nine of Wands showing up in the reverse, there is an energy of really being able to have a connection where the guard there's a less guarded energy. And I do feel like with this Nine of Wands showing up in the reverse, this also feels like it's not combative. It does feel easier, like there's a natural flow. So I'm gonna clarify these cards. We have very soon. We have love yourself first. And we have make the effort. So with this very soon card showing up over here, I'm getting it pertaining to this World card. This does feel like reaching a point where there is a sense of being very fulfilled and also being able to get to a place that you really want to get to in a connection. I do feel like when it comes to this person that you're dealing with, they are in this space where they are ready. I do feel like there's a sense of being very ready and open to what's next. And I do also feel that there is a sense of being able to actually gain a lot more clarity as far as what they want for the future. I do feel like with this very very soon card showing up over here. This does feel like very strong manifesting energy, especially when it comes to being able to have a connection where you're together. I do feel like with the Lovers card, this does feel like a sense of being able to be with someone, and I do feel like this person may have a strong desire to be with you, and I do feel like there's a sense of being able to come into contact, close proximity very soon. But this Love Yourself First card showing up over here, this really does feel like an energy of self-care. I do feel like this is about being able to actually get to your best self as far as the way you feel about yourself. And I do feel like that's also something that's leading to being prepared for this connection. With this Ace of Wands, this does feel like a new beginning, a fresh start. I do feel like when it comes to being in this mindset of being open to really your higher self, the best version of yourself, and really working on yourself. And as far as self-care goes, do you feel like it also kind of is feeling of being very prepared, and I do feel like it's also an energy of also kind of being able to really pour back into those things that really matter to you. And I do feel like that with the Hierophant, this also feels like being able to actually have that connection, and I do feel like it could be spiritual or religious, but there is this energy of being able to also take into account a very important system, and kind of leaning on that as well. So I do feel like this is a very self-love and self-care kind of energy. I also feel like that kind of energy is very attractive, and it also really puts you in a good frame of mind when it comes to being able to recognize this connection with this Ace of Wands as well. So I also feel like it is also about being able to be open to it without any kind of codependency, and really being able to still maintain that sovereignty. And I do feel like with this Make the Effort card, this card is pertaining to this Tower card in the reverse. This does feel like an energy of putting in effort towards being able to either build something back up or being able to be cautious around how something is started. There is a very cautious energy over here, and I do feel like with that King of Pentacles, this is also pretty responsible and even considerate energy. So I do feel like when it comes to making the effort, this does feel like somebody making the effort towards you and even towards your connection. And with this Nine of Wands showing up in the reverse, this also feels like an energy of being open to actually making something work without too much of a struggle. So I do feel like with this Make the Effort card, this does also feel like being able to actually take the first step, if that's the point you're at. When it comes to this connection, I do feel like this does feel like a good time to take the initiative. But I also feel that with this Ace of Pentacles, this feels like an offer also being made to you. So either way. But those are the messages I'm getting with these cards for you, Cancer. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, Cancer.